In the centre of Raqqa is the main football stadium. They're holding victory celebrations here at the moment, but through Islamic State's reign of terror, it was synonymous with death. People brought here rarely left. A group of soldiers told me to follow them into the bowels of the building to understand the sheer horror of this place. This is Islamic State's prison of death. The soldiers told me the vast complex was split into women and men's sections. But as we moved on, they explained how it was also used to move people secretly. Well, so this is one of the tunnels, right? This is one of the Islamic State tunnels that we've seen so often before. It was interesting, the soldiers here are saying that there are markings deep down actually giving directions, because these go to different hospitals in different parts of the city. But these are sort of between 2 and 3 or 4 kilometres away. It's a massive tunnel system. And it's how they've been able to survive the aerial bombardments. You look up here, it's exactly why those tunnels were here in the first place. We've seen it in every town we've been to in the fight against Islamic State. It was a system that worked for them, which means they could hold on for so long. Prison cells branch off a long central corridor. Inside, they showed me where the condemned wrote their final messages. People who were writing on these walls knew that they were going to die, yeah? The prisoners writing on them. So they would, were these messages almost to their families? Yeah. Wow. Discovered just days ago, the prison feels dreadfully unsafe and intense. They told me to keep to hard surfaces. The cells on either sides vary. Some are large, some breeze-block chambers, a few metres square. This really is a horrendous place. Hundreds, thousands of people perished. Here, the only ones who survived appear to be those that were rescued by the soldiers. These cells were bringing people to die. Goodness knows, some of them will have done virtually nothing of any consequence. This is really a dreadful, dreadful place. Almost anyone could end up here, anyone who fell out with the terror organisation. We've always known that if Islamic State fighters wanted to desert, or at least there was a suspicion they would be arrested and put in cells like this one, and we can see from some of the names around that there's Chechens, Albanians. Written on the wall, we found Abu Sayed al-Bratani, a well-known British jihadist who's disappeared. We don't know what happened to him, but it appears that this is where he probably ended his days. It's his name, this is the date, 24th of the 2nd, 2016, and these, they believe, are the days that he spent in prison, that sort of traditional thing that prisoners do. We wondered what had happened to him. Perhaps ultimately his fate was decided here. As the prisoners were interrogated and processed, they moved along the corridor, the real horror about to begin. In this chamber, metal beds. This is where they were strapped down and electrocuted. And worse was yet to come. We're told that men were chained to these machines. They're basically gym equipment machines. And then they were pulled up and over the back of them so that they were in absolute agony. Disorientated, in a huge amount of pain, they then came into this dreadful room. I haven't seen this myself, I've seen it in the death camps of the Nazis, but people would be strung up along here. You could see the chains and the still here. They would then be beaten still further. They were dragged out to the corridor and taken towards the light. At the top of the steps, they were executed. Joe Ramsey, Sky News, in Raqqa's prison of death.